Hey, what's up everyone? Tim here from Everyday Tactical Vids. And in this video, what I'm going to do is take a very basic survival kit that I got from Smoky Mountain Knife Works, and using items that I found around my household, we're going to upgrade this kit. So we're going to hopefully increase the helpfulness of this kit and then also give ourselves some redundancies for various items within the kit. Let me re-angle the camera. We'll show you the beginning kit and the upgrades I've made. All right, let me start off and talk about the survival kit, and then we'll add on the upgrades in a minute. This is the Bear Grylls basic survival kit made by Gerber. The reason I got this kit was, first of all, because of the price point. It's $17.99, so it's not super expensive. And secondly, because I don't think I've ever reviewed a product that's in the Bear Grylls line from Gerber. So I wanted to check it out. I know that there's people all across the spectrum with their opinions on the Bear Grylls products and, you know, the Gerber's partnership with Bear Grylls. But nonetheless, I wanted to check this out as kind of the baseline, and then again, we'll talk about the ways I've upgraded and added things to this kit to take it to the next level. Let's talk about the bag here real quick. Obviously BG is for Bear Grylls. You can see you do have a little piece of cordage right there on the zipper, which is a little added bonus. We do have the material that covers the teeth of the zipper, and that's to, you know, keep grit from getting in there and breaking your zipper. I guess you could call it weather resistant. You know, if you got some condensation, it's more likely to keep it out with this little covering on top of it. The material is a ripstop material, and so that's good if it's, you know, being jostled around in your bag, in your pocket, you bump into a tree, it's less likely to just rip open. On the back here, I want to show you this, which there are a bunch of signals. So these are for, it says Alpine rescue signals. The idea is that, you know, if at a distance a plane flies over or someone's way off in the distance looking at you, you can make signals so they know kind of what your needs are. One thing that's nice about this is it's sewn right into the bag, so it's not like it's taking up extra space. So that's the bag. Let's move this out of the way. And inside the bag comes this, and these are all your materials for the survival kit. They do put it in this Ziploc bag. It is pretty thick and rugged, so I wouldn't worry about this thing, you know, getting ripped open that easily, especially if it's inside this bag. But let's take the materials out of this and lay them out so you can see what comes in this kit. All right, here's all the gear that comes in the Bear Grylls survival kit. Start down here, we've got the paraframe knife, looking about 5 inches from end to end, and about a little bit less than a 2.5 inch blade for the knife. They don't tell you what the steel is, but at least you do have a cutting option. That's good. We do have a cotton ball here. The idea is fluff that up, maybe tear it into a couple different cotton balls, and then hit one of those with a spark from your fire steel, and you can get your fire started. We do have a sewing kit here with 2 buttons, a safety pin, and a needle in the back. We have cordage, and cordage there. What I'll do is I'll roll in an annotation here to let you know the actual length of all 3 of those. So I measured the various lengths of the cordage. For the large cordage, we've got about 12 feet of that. For the waxed dental floss, we've got about 18 feet of that. And for the copper wire, we've got about 18, 19 inches of that. This is waxed dental floss. Then we have cordage that's getting close to the thickness of paracord. It's not paracord, and it's a little bit thinner, but a little bit larger than these other 2 options. And then you do have some wire there as well. And then over here we have a emergency rescue whistle, and then down here we have the priorities of survival from Bear Grylls. So let's take a look at this. Let's test out the whistle, and yeah, that's kind of a quick rundown of the items that we have here in the kit. So I've looked over the information. Overall, I'd actually say it's pretty good. One thing to note is that the information that they give you in this piece of paper, it's not all connected to the gear that you have in the kit. So for example, making a solar still, or here on the other side, using a tarp to make a shelter, well, you don't have those items in your kit. But it does give you kind of a general sense of things connected to fire, shelter, knots. On this side, getting rescued, so location, signaling, some navigation tips, water collection, and then food. So is it worth the size that it takes up? We'll see. It's definitely lightweight. It doesn't feel like it's wax coated or anything to resist the weather. So you could use this to actually, you know, get a fire started too, since it basically is just a piece of paper that's been folded up. So that's this information here. You can also see down the side, we do have a ruler. I guess it's about 10 inches long. I don't know in a survival situation you're going to need that, but they at least use some of the space for giving you, I guess, an extra tool in the kit. Here's a look at your whistle. It doesn't say anything on it. It is red. You could use some of the cordage to put a lanyard around this. Let me actually test this thing out. Let's see what we think. I would actually say that's a pretty good quality whistle. There are whistles that come with Tops knives that are similar to this. I actually think this one gives a better sound. The ones from Tops are a little bit thinner, and they give more of like kind of a train whistle sound. This one definitely has a very high pitched sound. So as far as a whistle, that seems to work. And yeah, I mean, if you had to get somebody's attention with that, I think that would actually be a a good option to have in a survival kit. Just want to show you real quick that the fire steel does work. So here's what that looks like. So yeah, definitely can get a good solid spark off that fire steel. Okay, so what we're looking at here are some upgrades that I would add to this kit. Let me start in the top left corner. I've got a first aid gauze pad that you can see, and then I've got 3 Band-Aids. Small, lightweight enough, but just keeping yourself, when you got a cut, making sure it's not getting infected, things like that. So little first aid kit there. I've also got a plastic baggie with some ibuprofen and acetaminophen. So this is kind of dual function in that you've got your medicine and then also you have a plastic bag. The other plastic bag is fine, it's quite small, and so this one's a little bit bigger. The other one's a little bit hard to zip. This one's easier to zip up, and this also allows me to carry some water if I am able to collect some water. Down here I've got a lighter. Now, if I wasn't into survival and the outdoors and stuff, I probably wouldn't have a lot of lighters kicking around. Like, we don't burn a lot of candles, we don't smoke in our house, and so this may be something that you do or don't have, but a lot of people have a lighter around for various reasons in the house. You could add that into your kit. Up here on the top, you can see I've got some tin foil. That's about 3 feet by a foot of tin foil. You could make this even smaller, folding it up even smaller, but lots of uses for that. You can use it to actually create kind of a little container if you had to, boil water or something like that. It's not ideal, but it can work. I've got a business card that I just wrapped with some Gorilla Tape. And so now I've got Gorilla Tape for repairing gear, covering up a cut, lots of different uses for that. I didn't have any cotton balls, so I took some of these cotton pads that my wife uses for like makeup removal, and I just rubbed Vaseline into them. And so I'll roll in a little footage here so you can see these things burn quite well. And yeah, they essentially serve the same purpose as a cotton ball, but now we've got 4 as opposed to just 1 cotton ball. I've got some chapstick here. That's good for keeping your lips from getting chapped, but also if you ran out of these, you can get some fine shaving, some stuff, and then since this is petroleum based, you can kind of smear that into fine shavings, and that'll burn a little bit hotter, a little bit longer to get your fire started. Got a larger needle. There's one in the sewing kit, but just another small one can be useful for a variety of things. A razor blade, and I've got this wrapped in packing tape, and you got to be careful still, but the packing tape is thick enough that I probably won't get cut, unless the thing really gets pushed through, which I don't think it would. Up here I've got some matches. I've also wrapped this in packing tape. That'll keep them dry. I didn't tear apart the match box because I'm going to be using it at home, but I would just take the striker off and put it in here as well. Down here I've got a large black garbage bag, and we'll see if this can actually fit in. And then if you don't have one of these, you may have one of these kicking around from, just like a first aid kit or something. This is a emergency astronaut blanket. So this is a little bit more rare for people to have, kicking around the house, but you might, and so you could put that in as well. These two I think are huge because it gives you some form of sort of shelter, keeping weather off your person so you're not dealing with hypothermia, whatever the case might be. So these are the items that I selected from around the house. Now what I'm going to do is put the original kit back together and then see what of these items I can actually fit in, and then we'll basically show you, what's left over and what's in the final kit. Hey guys, I thought of an additional upgrade, and that would be iodine. If you can find a way to put this in a smaller container, because it is a little bit bulky, but this can help to treat water, killing things like cryptosporidium or giardia. So there's another upgrade that a lot of people have this just kicking around at home. All right, so there you have it. Everything fit into the kit that I showed you other than this, and so I put the garbage bag in instead of this, and then this large gauze pad. So obviously your weight is going to go up. It's probably about twice the weight, but still quite lightweight. But yeah, I mean, you get the basic kit, and then things around the house you add to it, and now I've got shelter, I've got a cutting option, I have a bunch of fire options, I've got a little first aid. I mean, just a lot of extra things that you just got kicking around the house. So the reason I put this video together is just to show you basically, you start off with like an $18 survival kit, and with stuff around the house, you can really upgrade it significantly and get a lot more usefulness out of the kit. So I've got a bunch of redundancies for fire. I still have some cutting options. I've added another one because I had to put the razor blade in there. I've got something to keep the weather off me as well. It's not going to keep me warm or reflect heat back to me like, this reflective blanket would, but I think it's more durable. Actually, it's definitely more durable than the reflective blanket. So yeah, this is what I'm putting in. This just took me probably about 15-20 minutes going around the house, thinking about gear we had and adding it to the kit. Let's hear from you guys now. What would you add from around the house if you had the basic Bear Grylls survival kit and then you wanted to upgrade it with things that you had in your home? Just a reminder, guys, if you want to pick up this kit, you can get it at Smoky Mountain Knife Works, smkw.com, smkw.com. I look forward to seeing your comments about this kit and also what you would add, if you were building this kit yourself at home. And as always, thanks for watching the videos here on YouTube, and please subscribe if you haven't already subscribed to Everyday Tactical Vids. Just click that little subscribe button. Also click that bell so you can get notifications from us. I want to ask you to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, check us out on Instagram and Tumblr as well. More videos coming soon. Take care.